Welcome back, Fantasy Fiction Fanatics. It's great to see you again, and I hope you're doing well. Thank you guys for being patient with me those last couple weeks where I didn't have any content for you during my move, but I have at least gotten unpacked and stuff like that, so hopefully I will be back to normal, or almost back to normal, this next week, and we can get back to firing on all cylinders. So this weekend is just going to be a quick book review on Wild Sign by Patricia Briggs. If you want to see the full blog post that I wrote about it and my full review, you can go ahead and do the link down below and look at that. I have all the details for the book over there and links to get to it and stuff like that as well. So if you'd like to check out more about this book, you can look over there. Quick little note about this book is that it is book 6 of the Alpha Omega series. So if you have not read any of this series, you will need to start with book 1 if you're interested. At least I suggest starting with book 1 since it is a progressive series, and you have to start from the beginning of the characters, and getting to know them starts back at book 1. And some of the events might not make as much sense to you if you start at book 6. So let's go ahead and jump right in to what I liked about this book. I really liked all the characters. They are excellent. I like them more and more with each book. Patricia has some really great characters in this series. The main characters as well as the secondary characters are all really wonderful, and a lot of different types of people that you interact with and get to know. And the character building continues to grow these characters as well. So especially in this book, we learn a lot more about some of the characters that we didn't previously know about. For example, Leah. She is somebody that we learn a lot about in this book. Really get to know her background and how she became Bran's mate and what she has been through in order to be the person that she is today. So she's kind of more of a mystery character before, somebody that we knew from both this series, and if you've read the Mercy Thompson series, that is also, she is seen in that series as well. So you know about her, you know her personality, and get a sense of who she is, but you didn't really know much about how she became that kind of person, and this really illuminates her. So I really liked that we are continuing to grow characters that we know less about, and building on these people that we have seen through multiple books. I also really liked the continued world building. Every single book, of course, that Patricia has so far has new things coming into this world, but this one truly does have some pretty big things building and continuing to grow on the base that she has given us in previous books. So lots of new things to know about this world, and lots of new things to explore, to understand what is capable of going on in this world and what we might see in the future. So really loved the continued world building in this. As always, Patricia has a great writing style. It's always so smooth and easy to read. She's got a very simplistic style, which I love. It's detailed enough that you get a sense of like what's going on and you can really imagine it, but it's so simplistic enough or easy to read enough that it is just smooth sailing all the way through. You don't have to fight the language. You don't have to reread sections because you didn't understand what was being said or described. She always has just super clean, easy to read, simplistic style that is super easy to read and not having to backtrack, which makes the reading experience even better in my opinion. She's definitely something that's a quick read. You can go through the book fairly quickly. And I do like that she has given us some pretty big surprises in this book. So as you read, you will find some events that are very unexpected. At least for me, they're very unexpected. Especially at the end, she kind of drops some things that are going to be happening in the next one, obviously, and they're very, very surprising events. So I think that you guys will like to see the unexpected coming into it and be interested in knowing more and reading anxious to read the next book because you're not sure why she set this up or what she's planning with this the big blows that she lands as surprises in this book. So lots of great things about this book. especially if you like this series. Definitely lots of great things. The only thing that I noticed that was kind of a con of this book, or something that I liked a little bit less, is that it's a little bit of a slower moving story. So in previous books, we kind of have a slow start a little bit in the fact that we're getting going on whatever Charles and Anna's journey is going to be for that one. They're learning about what problem they're dealing with and having to work through it. But this one, it kind of is really a big question of what's even going on through most of the book, and then at like 80% through or so, we kind of just have the climax kind of happen. And it doesn't seem that it's unnatural. It definitely seems good. It seems like a natural progression of the story, but it kind of just falls upon you where it's like, oh, now we're at the climax and now it's over. So a lot more building up in this particular story, a lot more mystery, a lot more elements where they're like investigating what's going on and trying to figure out what's going on, versus other stories that, or other books in the series. So I think that this one definitely has a little bit of a slower plot, a little bit slower progression for this book, which, you know, is not bad, but it definitely is something that was a little bit different from the other ones. And something to keep in mind if you're not interested in something that's so slow moving. Do I recommend this book? Yes, I highly recommend this book, which probably isn't a surprise to most of you who know that I really like Patricia Briggs as in both her series, the Alpha Omega and the Mercy Thompson series. So, of course, for me, Patricia Briggs always brings great content. Even if it's not one of her top books, it is still good and definitely worth reading if you like the series. I definitely think that if you have not started this series yet and don't know anything about this series, to go ahead and start back at book 1. Like I said earlier, it is a progressive storyline. You do need to know things from the previous books in order to read the next books. Also, if you're a fan of this series and haven't read it yet, the Mercy Thompson series is another series in this world, the same exact world, that you might be interested in, and also gives more knowledge to this series as well. So they work together. So definitely recommend it, this particular book, and if you haven't started the series, to start with 1 and to work your way up to this book. Okay, I guess that's it for today. Again, if you want to see the full book review that I wrote on it, I will leave that link down below, as well as the book details and everything like that, if you're interested in checking it out. And I will see you next week for hopefully a full class. I should be good to go for a full-length class next weekend. So I guess I'll see you guys then. Bye.